guys, coming to you from the mighty Midwest, and want to give you some tips on how to enjoy your visit at Cedar Point. Cedar Point's located in Sandusky, Ohio, off of the 8090 toll road slash interstate. It's on the shores of Lake Erie. It is actually an island. It's about an hour east of Toledo, Ohio, and an hour west of Cleveland, Ohio, just to give you a reference point. In my opinion, this is the most underrated theme park in the United States. I've been to Six Flags, Kings Island, Busch Gardens, and Disney World. Hershey, Pennsylvania. This is by far my favorite park experience, folks. Just gotta go and check it out. So let's start with the nitty gritty here. Here's tip one. Do arrive early, my friends. I would recommend getting there before 9:30 a.m. That means you want to have yourself in the gate before 9:30 a.m. Things are going to really start picking up about 10 o'clock, and you're going to be fighting for parking, and you're going to be fighting the lines. Tip number two, do remember where you parked. Parking is clearly marked with letters and numbers. I'm getting older, so I text myself when I'm in a situation like that. Yes, I do. I text myself where the heck I am parking. Now, when you are walking into the park, I highly recommend that you have your tickets prepaid the day before, because then you can just pull them right up on your phone and you can go right through security. Yes, there is security, checking for weapons, etc., with metal detectors. So definitely don't want to bring any weapons. And always look for the security line that's the shortest. They got a bunch of security lines. The day I was there, the security line to the west side was all the way out in the parking lot, and I caught that the security lines to the east were just moving right on through without a wait. So just use some common sense, look for the quickest lines, and go. Pick a security line and go. You can take food, water, strollers, wagons, purses, bags. You can take all that in. Just don't have stupid stuff in there, and you probably don't want to have anything refrigerated in there. There are several picnic benches on the grounds with canopies for shade. So I'd highly recommend taking extra water, because waters on site are $3 or $4, I do believe. That's for a bottle of water. My next tip of the day would be to buy a fast pass. Now, I've been at Cedar Point probably 6 or 7 times when I was a teenager. I was there last year when COVID was at its peak and everything was on lockdown, which, by the way, was very eerie experience. All the kiddie rides were shut down. The gondola was shut down, and there were just a few roller coasters running. So it definitely wasn't the Cedar Point experience that I had this summer, which was great. This summer was great. Last time I went, just nothing going on. There hardly anybody there. Just wasn't, the normal experience. Anyways, get a fast pass. When I was going to Cedar Point, when I was a teenager, which was many moons ago, the tickets back then were about $65. So you'll see a cheap ticket online for about $49 or whatever. Sure, you got to buy that to enter, but admission to this park, if you want to experience all the rides, is going to be $149, because you got to have the fast pass so you can get about 15 or 20 rides in for the day. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting at least an hour and a half to 2.5 hours just to get on a ride, which means, on the bigger roller coasters anyway, which means you can only get 5 or 6 of them in, which is really no fun just sitting around waiting in line. In my opinion, it's definitely worth the money. Get the fast pass. The lines are definitely cut in half. A lot of times about a quarter of the time. Another recommendation, this is a big park, and plus it has beach access. I would recommend taking a couple days to experience the park. Just, if you're going to go out and check it out, spend the money for a couple days for a hotel on site, which they have one, or down the road, just off site. And that way you can take your time and really experience the park. Once you get into the park, I would recommend getting a map, which they do have maps all over the place. You do have to go and get your fast pass right at the entrance. After you go through security, it'll be to the right. You want to pick that up. Whoever the fast passes are for, that person has to be present to get the pass. That's huge. Well, it's no fun if you pay for the passes and then you got to go track down who they're for. Alright, so keep that in mind. If you got a fast pass for just a couple people, they got to be present, because they want to put it on that person's arm. They don't just hand out the wristbands. Know your heights. Got to be at least 52 inches high to ride the majority of these roller coasters, and below 6 feet 6 inches. If you have young kids, there is a Snoopy area theme park that's way in the back. I'd recommend for children under probably 8 years old to take strollers or wagons. It's a long way back there to the Snoopy rides, but they're very, very tame rides for the kiddos. Lockers. Definitely recommend go ahead and pay for a locker. Pay for more time than you need. If your locker expires in time, which the minimum time is 2 hours, which really isn't much, then you have to track down a locker agent and show them your receipt, and they will unlock the locker for you and give your contents. There is no way to extend locker times. You can just take it out and rebuy. So I would recommend a minimum of a 4-hour locker time. You can get like a purse in there, a couple cell phones, a couple pairs of shoes, and a drink or something like that in there. So highly recommended, especially when you're way in the back in Frontierland by all the water rides, which there is a separate water park, by the way, to Cedar Point. That's a good place to set up a locker for a couple hours. Take a change of clothes, because you're going to get wet back there. They do have dryers that you can pay for $5. You can just stand in the dryer outside the rides and dry down. So those are some of the tips. Let me see if I can think of anything else. Yeah, I think those are the main tips. You might want to have a preset meetup point if you're with several people. It's your decision if you want to take a phone on the ride or bags or something like that. They do have bins at every ride. You can leave your personal items before you get on the ride, and then you pick them up afterwards. My recommendation, if you're just by yourself or with one other person, just get a locker. Obviously, it's up to you. If you want to take photos, you cannot take videos on the rides. If you have a teenager or something, you're going to meet them later, plan a meetup place, and make it near a big roller coaster that they know and that you know, and suggest they put their phone in a locker, because it's surprising on these water rides where you get drenched in the main park how many people take their phones and stuff. I guess your all phones are waterproof. I don't know about mine. So those are some tips for handling a great day at Cedar Point. I would recommend Johnny Rockets on site. It's a pretty cool place. They have the nickel jukeboxes, and they do work. And they will sing and dance for you if you ask them to. It is, any place you eat out there, you're going to spend $10 for whatever you're buying. So just be aware of that. But it's all about the experience, right? When you're out there and having a good time with friends and family. Again, a hidden gem in the mighty, mighty Midwest, Cedar Point. Go out and check it out before the summer's over. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please help the channel grow by commenting, liking, subscribing, and we can get remonetized here again. Over and out from the mighty, mighty Midwest.